Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I am so glad you are here today. What if I told you that the first 7 seconds of meeting someone could change your life? That in less time than it takes to tie your shoes, you could open the door to a new friendship, a new job, or a new opportunity you never imagined. And what if the only thing you needed to unlock that door was one simple, powerful skill? That skill is what we are here to master today, introducing yourself in English, with confidence and with clarity. My name is Kai, and for the next hour, I will be your personal guide. I'm not just going to give you a list of phrases to memorize. I'm going to give you the building blocks of connection. We will go far beyond the textbook. We will explore not just what to say, but how to say it, how to listen, and how to build a real conversation from that very first hello. This is not a lecture. This is a workshop. I want you to speak, to practice, and to feel the words in your own mouth. So find a comfortable space where you can speak out loud without feeling shy. This is your training ground. Let's begin with Module 1, Core Identity. This is about who you are. The two most fundamental pieces of information, your name and where you are from. First, the greeting. The simplest and most universal greeting in English is hello. It's a perfect word. It is safe in any situation, formal or informal. You can say it to your new boss, and you can say it to a new friend at a coffee shop. It is always correct. A slightly more casual version is hi. Hi is friendly, warm, and very common, especially in North America. Think of hello as a firm, confident handshake and hi as a friendly wave. Let's practice the sound. Notice how the H is a soft puff of air. He. Hello. And hi. It's bright. Try saying them now. Hello. Hi. Now, let's add the time of day. This shows more awareness and is very polite. Until noon, we say, good morning. From noon until about 5 or 6 p.m., we say, good afternoon. And in the evening, we say, good evening. A very important point, good night is not a greeting. We only use good night when we are leaving or going to bed. So, if you meet someone at 7 p.m., you greet them with good evening, and when you leave, you can say good night. Now, let's add your name. The most classic and formal way to state your name is, my name is, followed by your name. Hello, my name is Kai. Good morning, my name is Maria. Let's do our first active practice. I want you to say this phrase out loud with your own name. Let's start with hello. Ready? Hello, my name is. Great. Now let's try it with good afternoon. Ready? Good afternoon, my name is. It feels simple, but this practice is building muscle memory. It's making the phrase yours. Now, in everyday, casual conversation, my name is can sometimes feel a little too formal. It's perfectly correct, but it's not what you will hear most often among friends or colleagues in a relaxed setting. The most common way to introduce yourself is by using the contraction I am, which is short for I am. It's simple, direct, and friendly. Hi, I'm Kai. Hello, I'm David. This is my preferred way to introduce myself in most situations. It feels more natural and conversational. Let's compare the two. Say this out loud. Hello, my name is, your name. Now, say this. Hello, I'm your name. Can you feel the difference? The second one flows a little more easily, doesn't it? Both are 100% correct. My advice is to use my name is. In more formal settings, like a job interview or a formal presentation, use I'm. For almost everything else, parties, meeting classmates, networking events, and daily interactions. Let's have our first confidence key. When you say your name, whether it's my name is or I want you to do two things. First, make eye contact with the person you are speaking to. It shows you are engaged and confident. Second, smile. A small, genuine smile makes you seem open and approachable. It's a universal signal of friendliness that requires no translation. Your name is your gift to them, deliver it with warmth. So, you've said hello and you've given your name. What's next? The next logical piece of information is where you are from. This is a very common topic when you first meet someone, especially in an international context. The simplest and best phrase is, I'm from, followed by your country or your city. Hi, I'm Kenji. I'm from Japan. Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm from Mexico. Good evening, I'm Fatima. I'm from Dubai. Notice we use I'm again. It's a very versatile and useful structure. Now, it's your turn for an active practice. I want you to combine your name and where you are from into one complete introduction. Use the casual I'm for this practice. I will do it first. Hi, I'm Kai, and I'm from Canada. Now you. Ready? Hi, I'm your name, and I'm from your country. Let's do it again, this time with a little more confidence in your voice. Ready? Hi, I'm your name, and I'm from your country. Excellent. This is the fundamental core of your self-introduction. Greeting, name, and origin. With just these three small pieces, you have already shared a connection with someone. You have started a conversation. But a conversation is a two-way street. It is not just about you talking. It is also about you listening and showing interest in the other person. The most powerful thing you can do after you introduce yourself is to invite the other person to do the same. After you've shared your name and where you're from, you need to pass the conversational ball back to the other person. The easiest way to do this is by asking them the same questions. Let's start with their name. The most direct and common question is, what's your name? It's simple and everyone understands it. You can ask this right after you give your own name. For example, hi, I'm Wei. What's your name? It's a natural and friendly transition. Another very common technique is to simply ask, and you? This is a great shortcut if the context is already clear. For example, if someone asks you, where are you from, you can answer, I'm from Brazil. And you? It implies the question, where are you from, without repeating it. So, let's put this into a mini conversation. Imagine you are person A. Person A, hello, I'm your name. I'm from your country. What's your name? Person B, hi, your name, I'm John. Here we have another confidence key. Did you notice what person B did? He used person A's name when he replied. Hi, your name, I'm John. This is a fantastic technique. Using someone's name immediately after you hear it does two things. First, it shows you are paying attention, which makes the other person feel respected. Second, it helps you remember their name. The moment you say it out loud, it begins to lock into your memory. After the names are exchanged, there is a crucial phrase that signals the introduction is complete and successful. That phrase is, "Nice to meet you." This is the polite, warm, and expected response. It closes the introduction loop. Let's see it in our conversation. Person A, hi, I'm Anya. Person B, hi Anya, I'm Ben. Person A, nice to meet you, Ben. Person B, nice to meet you too. Notice person B's response, nice to meet you too. The word too at the end means also. It's the standard way to reply when someone says nice to meet you. This phrase has a few common variations that you can use to add a little different flavor to your speech. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is more formal and very polite. It's excellent for business situations or when meeting someone you hold in high regard. Pleased to meet you. This is also slightly more formal than nice to meet you and is very common in British English. Great to meet you. This one is a bit more enthusiastic and energetic. It's friendly and positive. For now, I recommend you master nice to meet you and nice to meet you too. They are your most reliable and versatile tools. Let's do an active practice. This time, it's interactive. I will introduce myself to you. I want you to respond with your name, and then I will say nice to meet you. Your job is to complete the exchange. Ready? Me, hello, I'm Kai. You, say hi Kai, I'm, your name. Me, nice to meet you, your name. You, say nice to meet you too. Wonderful. You have just completed a full, polite, and successful introduction in English. This is the foundation upon which every other conversation is built. Let's take a moment to review. You now have the complete core introduction sequence. Greeting, giving your name, saying where you are from, asking for their name, and responding with nice to meet you. This entire exchange can happen in just 15 to 20 seconds, and it is a perfect start to any interaction. Now we are ready to move beyond that initial introduction and add more layers to the conversation. Welcome to Module 2, Your World. This module is about sharing what you do in your life, your work, your studies, and your passions. The most common question people ask after an introduction, especially in a professional or networking context, is, "What do you do?" This question means what is your job, or what is your profession? Sometimes you might hear a longer version, what do you do for a living, but what do you do, is far more common. So, how do you answer? The simplest structure is, I'm a, or I'm in, followed by your job title. The choice between a and in depends on the first sound of the next word. If your job title starts with a consonant sound, like B, C, D, F, G, you use A. I'm a doctor. I'm a teacher. I'm a manager. If your job title starts with a vowel sound, like A, E, I, O, you use an. I'm an engineer. I'm an artist. I'm an architect. Be careful, it is the sound that matters, not the letter. For example, the word university starts with the letter U, but it sounds like university, which is a consonant sound, so we say a university professor. The word hour starts with the letter H, but the H is silent, so it starts with a vowel sound, and we say an hour. Let's do a quick active practice. Say your profession out loud using the correct structure. I'm a/an, your job. Go ahead. Now, what if you are a student? The answer is very simple. You just say, I'm a student. If you want to give more information, you can add what you are studying. I'm a student. I'm studying history. I'm a student at the University of Toronto. Sometimes, your job title might be very specific or difficult to translate into English. In these cases, we have another confidence key for you. You don't have to give your exact title. You can talk about your industry or field instead. The phrase for this is, I work in finance. I work in marketing. I work in education. I work in software development. This is a fantastic, professional, and simple way to answer the question without getting lost in complex vocabulary. It keeps the conversation moving smoothly. You can also say who you work for using the preposition for. I work for a large tech company. I work for a local hospital. So, let's practice. I will ask you the question. I want you to answer out loud with the response that is true for you. Ready? So, what do you do? Excellent. Whether you said I'm a student, I'm a doctor, or I work in sales, you have just shared another important piece of your world. Just as you did with your job, after you answer the question about what you do, it's polite to ask the other person. You can simply say, what about you, or and you? Let's see how that looks in a conversation. You, I'm a graphic designer. What about you? Them, oh, that's interesting. I'm a student. I'm studying marketing. This back and forth, this give and take, is the rhythm of conversation. You share something, then you invite them to share something. Now, let's move to a topic that helps build friendship and find common ground, hobbies and interests. After you know someone's name, where they are from, and what they do, a great way to continue the conversation is to ask about what they do for fun. Here are a few common ways to ask this question. What do you do for fun? What do you like to do in your free time? Do you have any hobbies? All these questions are asking the same thing. They are a friendly invitation to share your personality outside of work or school. To answer, you can use several simple and effective structures. The most common is using the verb like. I like, followed by a noun, a thing, or a gerund, a verb ending in ing. For example, I like music. Noun, I like reading. Ing verb, I like playing football. Ing verb, I like watching movies. Ing verb. Another great word to use is enjoy, which is very similar to like. I enjoy hiking in the mountains. I enjoy cooking for my friends. This ing form of the verb is very useful. After verbs that express preference, like, love, enjoy, and hate, we often use this form. It's a very common pattern in English. If you have more than one hobby, you can say, my hobbies are, and list them. My hobbies are painting and gardening. Or you can talk about your free time specifically. In my free time, I like to play the guitar. When I have free time, I usually meet up with my friends. Now for our next confidence key, be a little specific. If you just say I like sports, the conversation might stop. But if you say, I really like watching basketball, you give the other person a specific topic to talk about. They can ask, oh really? What's your favorite team? Specificity is the key that unlocks more conversation. Instead of I like to travel, try I love visiting historical cities. Instead of I like food, try I enjoy trying new restaurants. Let's do an active practice. I will ask you the question. Answer out loud with one of your real interests. Use the I like or I enjoy structure. Ready? So, what do you like to do for fun? Fantastic. Now, let's try to ask the question back. Imagine you just answered. Now it's your turn to ask me. You can say, what about you? Go ahead, ask me now. Well, I really enjoy reading and going for long walks. See how that works? You shared, you asked, and I shared. We are building a connection. You are no longer just two strangers. You are two people with names, jobs, and interests. You are having a real conversation. Let's pause and appreciate how far you've come. You can now greet someone, introduce yourself, say where you're from, ask about their job, and share your hobbies. You have all the tools to build a 5-minute conversation with a new person. Let's see what that looks like all together. Imagine two people, Maria and David, meeting at a party. Maria, hello. I don't think we've met. I'm Maria. David, hi Maria, I'm David. It's great to meet you. Maria, great to meet you too, David. So, are you from around here? David, no, I'm originally from London, but I moved here about a year ago for work. What about you? Maria, I'm from Sao Paulo, in Brazil. I'm here as a student. David, London and Sao Paulo, wow. That's quite a distance. What are you studying? Maria, I'm studying architecture. And you? You said you moved here for work? David, that's right. I work in software development for a company downtown. Maria, architecture and software, very different worlds. So, besides work, what do you do for fun in the city? David, well, I really enjoy hiking on the weekends. The trails around here are beautiful. And you? Maria, I love hiking too. I haven't explored many trails yet. Maybe you can recommend one. David, definitely. I'd be happy to. Look at that. In less than a minute, Maria and David went from strangers to discovering a shared interest and making a plan to talk more later. They used every single tool we have discussed. This is the power of a good introduction. Now, we are ready for the next level. Welcome to Module 3, The Art of Conversation. This module is about the skills that keep the conversation going and turn a simple exchange of facts into a genuine connection. The first and most important skill is learning to ask good follow-up questions. A follow-up question is a question you ask based on the information the other person just gave you. It shows you are listening, and it shows you are interested. This is the secret to being a great conversationalist. The best tools for follow-up questions are the WH words: who, what, where, when, why, and their close friend, how. Let's see this in action. Imagine someone tells you, "I'm from Italy." A bad response is just to say, "Oh, okay." The conversation stops. A good response is to ask a follow-up question using one of our tool words. Oh, Italy. Where in Italy are you from? Wow. I've always wanted to go. What is your favorite thing about living there? That's amazing. When did you move here? Let's try another one. Someone tells you, "I'm a doctor." Instead of okay, you can ask, "What kind of doctor are you? Why did you decide to become a doctor? Where do you work?" One more example. Someone says, "I like to read." Your follow-up questions could be, "What kind of books do you like to read? Who is your favorite author? What are you reading right now?" Here is your confidence key. The secret is genuine curiosity. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Listen to the other person's answer and find one word you can ask about. If they say, "I enjoy cooking," listen for that word, cooking. Now, ask a question about it. What do you like to cook? It's that simple. Let's do a quick active practice with follow-up questions. I will make a statement. I want you to listen for the key idea and ask a what or where or why question about it. Say your question out loud. Statement 1: I moved to this city 3 months ago. What question could you ask? Maybe, why did you move here, or where did you move from? Statement 2: I'm really busy this weekend. What question could you ask? Perhaps, "Oh, really? What are you doing?" Statement 3: My favorite hobby is photography. A great question would be, "That's cool. What kind of things do you like to take pictures of?" Practicing this skill of curiosity will completely change the quality of your conversations. Now, let's add another layer to our Art of Conversation module. This skill is called active listening. Active listening means showing the other person that you are paying attention while they are speaking. It makes them feel comfortable and encourages them to share more. You don't have to wait until they finish their sentence to show you are listening. You can use short, positive words and phrases to show your engagement. These are like little signals that say, "I'm with you. Keep going." Here are some of the most useful phrases for active listening. When you hear something interesting or surprising, you can say, "Really? Oh, wow. That's interesting." When you understand what someone is saying, you can nod your head and say, "Right. I see. That makes sense." When you want to react to their feelings or experience, you can say, "That's great. That sounds like fun. That's amazing." Or, if they are talking about a challenge, "That sounds difficult." Let's see this in a conversation. Imagine your friend is talking about their vacation. Friend, last year, I went to Thailand for a month. You, a month? Wow. Friend, yeah, I traveled all over the country. I started in Bangkok, which was so busy and exciting. You, I see. Friend, then I went to the islands in the south. The beaches were beautiful. That sounds amazing. Do you see how your small words encouraged your friend to keep telling their story? You weren't just silent. You were an active participant in their story. This is a very advanced and very natural sounding skill. Here's your next confidence key. Conversation is like a game of catch. One person throws the ball, shares an idea, and the other person catches it, listens and acknowledges it. Using these short, active listening phrases is how you catch the ball before you gently throw it back with a follow-up question. The most powerful technique of all is to combine active listening with a follow-up question. You first acknowledge what they said, and then you ask for more information. Let's go back to our example. Someone says, "My favorite hobby is photography." Instead of just asking a question, you can first react, then ask, "Oh, that's really cool. What kind of things do you like to take pictures of?" Someone says, "I'm training for a marathon." "Wow, that's incredible. When is the race?" This combination of reacting and asking is the secret to creating deep and engaging conversations. You are not just a reporter asking questions, you are an interested person having a real connection. Let's do a quick active practice to combine these skills. I will make a statement. I want you to respond out loud, first with an active listening phrase, and then with a follow-up question. Ready? Statement: I'm hoping to travel to South America next year. Your response could be, "Oh, that sounds wonderful. Where in South America are you thinking of going?" Do you feel how much more engaging that is? You are not just a question asker, you are a conversation partner. Now, we need to address a very important topic in the Art of Conversation module. This is something that every single language learner experiences, the moment when you do not understand. This moment can cause a lot of fear and anxiety. Many learners panic, nod their head, and just pretend to understand. This is the worst thing you can do, because it stops the conversation and you don't learn anything. Your new confidence key is this: saying "I don't understand" is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you are paying attention and that you care about the conversation. Native speakers are almost always happy to explain or repeat themselves. So, what should you say? Here are some simple, polite phrases. The most direct phrase is, "I'm sorry, I don't understand." This is always okay to say. The "I'm sorry" makes it sound softer and more polite. If you want them to repeat the sentence, you can ask, "Could you say that again, please? Could you repeat that, please?" The word "could" is more polite than "can." And adding "please" is always a good idea. If the person is speaking too fast, which is a very common problem, you can politely ask them to slow down. "I'm sorry, could you speak a little more slowly, please?" Almost everyone will be happy to do this for you. They probably don't realize how fast they are speaking. What if you understand most of the sentence, but there is just one word you don't know? This is a fantastic learning opportunity. You can ask, "What does the word mean?" For example, if someone says, "I was feeling very melancholy yesterday," you can ask, "I'm sorry, what does melancholy mean?" They will be happy to explain that it means sad or thoughtful. You have just learned a new word simply by asking. Let's do an active practice. Imagine I am speaking too quickly for you. What would you say to me? Say it out loud. You would say, "I'm sorry, could you speak a little more slowly, please?" And I would say, Of course. I'm sorry about that. I will slow down. Now, imagine I use a word you don't know. I say, the view from the mountain was sublime. What do you ask? You ask, what does sublime mean? And I would explain that it means extremely beautiful. Never be afraid to ask. Every time you ask for clarification, you are building your English skills and your confidence. You are taking control of the conversation and your own learning. It is one of the most powerful things you can do. There is one more advanced technique related to understanding. It's called paraphrasing or confirming. This is when you think you understand what the person said, but you want to be sure. You repeat their idea back to them in your own words. This is a very high-level skill, and it is incredibly impressive in a conversation. It shows you are listening more deeply than anyone else. You can use phrases like, so, what you're saying is. So, you mean that. If I understand you correctly, you. Let's see an example. Someone says, I'm not a big fan of big cities. They're too noisy and crowded for me. I prefer the peace and quiet of the countryside. You could paraphrase this by saying, so, you mean that you enjoy a more relaxed and quiet lifestyle? They will almost certainly reply, exactly. And they will be very impressed that you understood them so well. Now, we have come to the final skill in our Art of Conversation module, how to end a conversation politely. Just like starting a conversation, ending one can cause anxiety. You don't want to be rude, but you need to leave. There is a simple, two-step formula for a polite exit. Step 1, signal that the conversation is ending. Step 2, say a warm goodbye. Let's look at step 1, the signal. You can't just turn around and walk away. You need a phrase that prepares the other person for your departure. We can call these exit lines. Here are some of the best exit lines. Well, it was great talking to you. This is a classic and very positive signal. It summarizes the conversation nicely. It was a pleasure meeting you. This is perfect for when you meet someone for the first time. I should probably get going. This is a soft and indirect way to announce you are leaving. Anyway, I should let you go, or I don't want to keep you. These are extremely polite because they imply that you are leaving for their benefit, so they can get back to what they were doing. You can also add a simple reason if you want, but you don't have to. Well, it was great talking to you, but I have to get back to work. I should probably get going. It's getting late. Now for step 2, the warm goodbye. After you use your exit line, you add a final, friendly phrase. Take care. This is a very common and warm way to say goodbye. Have a good day. Or have a good evening, have a good weekend. Hope to see you again soon. And finally, you say the last word, bye or goodbye. Let's put it all together into a smooth exit. Imagine you are at a party. You could say, well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Sarah. I'm going to go get another drink, but hope to see you again soon. Take care. Imagine you are leaving work. You could say to a colleague, anyway, I'm heading out now. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow. Here is your final confidence key for this module. A smile is your most important tool when ending a conversation. When you use your exit line, say it with a warm, genuine smile. It shows that you enjoyed the interaction, even though you have to leave. People will remember your warmth, not your departure. Let's practice. Imagine we are finishing our lesson now. You want to thank me and leave. What could you say? Say it out loud. You could say, "Well, this was really helpful. Thank you so much. I have to go now, but have a great day." And I would reply, "You're very welcome. You too. Take care. Goodbye." And with that, you have now mastered the 3 fundamental modules of introducing yourself and making conversation in English. Module 1, Core Identity, who you are and where you're from. Module 2, Your world, what you do for work, study, and fun. Module 3, The Art of Conversation, how to ask questions, listen actively, clarify, and end conversations politely. You have every tool you need. Now, the final step is to practice using these tools in different situations. So, welcome to our final module for today, Module 4, Putting It All Together, Real-World Scenarios. In this module, we will walk through common situations where you will need to introduce yourself. We will discuss the specific social rules and expectations for each one, so you can enter any situation with total confidence. Let's start with a high-stakes scenario, the job interview. The introduction in a job interview is critical. It sets the first impression. It needs to be professional, confident, and clear. Imagine you walk into the interview room. The interviewer stands up, smiles, and says, "Hello, your name? Thanks for coming in today. I'm Ms. Jenkins. What do you do?" You should walk forward, make eye contact, smile, and offer a firm handshake, if that is common in the culture. Your response should be polite and direct. "Hello, Ms. Jenkins. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me." You have greeted them, use their name, use the formal "it's a pleasure to meet you," and thank them. A perfect start. After you sit down, the interviewer will likely begin with some small talk, but the first real question is almost always the same. "So, tell me about yourself." This is where many people make a mistake. This is not an invitation to talk about your hobbies, your family, or your life story. In a job interview, tell me about yourself means tell me about your professional self and why you are a good candidate for this job. The best way to answer this is using a simple formula: present, past, future. Present, start with what you are doing now. "Well, I'm currently a project manager in the construction industry, where I oversee residential building projects." Or, if you are a student, "I'm a recent graduate from the University of Berlin with a degree in computer science." Past, briefly mention your past experience that is relevant to this job. "For the past 5 years, I've been focused on managing budgets and timelines. Before that, I worked as a civil engineer, which gave me a strong technical foundation." Future, connect your past and present to this specific job and company. "I'm now looking for an opportunity to bring my project management skills to a larger, more innovative company, and I was very excited to learn about this role at company name because of your work in sustainable building." Let's put it all together in one smooth answer. "Well, I'm currently a project manager in the construction industry. For the past 5 years, I've been focused on managing budgets and timelines, building on my earlier experience as a civil engineer. I'm now looking for an opportunity to bring my project management skills to a larger, more innovative company, and I was very excited to learn about this role at company name because of your work in sustainable building." This answer is perfect. It is professional, concise, under 1 minute, and directly connects your experience to the job. Your confidence key for the job interview is preparation. Write down your present, past, future answer and practice it until it sounds natural and confident. This preparation will make all the difference. After the formal setting of a job interview, let's move to a much more common and relaxed scenario, a social gathering. This could be a party, a networking event, a barbecue, or a community meetup. The rules here are very different. The goal is not to impress a boss, but to make a friendly connection. The atmosphere is more casual, and so is the language. Imagine you are at a friend's party. You see someone standing alone who you don't know. This is the easiest situation. You can simply walk up, smile, and introduce yourself. Hi, I'm, your name. I don't think we've met. Them, oh, hi. I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Chris. So, how do you know Sarah, the host? This is a perfect opening. You used a direct introduction and then immediately asked a contextual question, a question about the situation you are both in. Asking how do you know the host is a classic and excellent question at a party. Other great contextual questions could be, what did you think of the speaker? At a conference or meetup, this is a great event. Is this your first time coming? At a recurring event, wow, this food looks amazing. Have you tried the little pizzas? Standing by the food table. Using the context is a very smooth and natural way to start a conversation, sometimes even better than a direct introduction. Now, what if you want to join a group of people who are already talking? This can be intimidating. Here's your confidence key for social gatherings: listen first. Don't just walk up and interrupt. Approach the group, stand on the edge, and just listen for a minute to understand what they are talking about. When there is a natural pause in the conversation, when one person finishes a story, or there's a moment of laughter, that is your moment. You can look at the group, smile, and say, "Excuse me, mind if I join you? My name is, your name, by the way." This is polite and respectful of their existing conversation. Most of the time, people will be very welcoming and will introduce themselves to you. Once the introduction is made, the conversation will flow using the skills you already know. You'll talk about what you do, maybe where you're from, and especially what you do for fun. Hobbies and interests are a much more common topic at a party than at a job interview. This is your chance to find a shared interest, a love for the same music, a passion for hiking, or a favorite TV show. The most important thing to remember in a social situation is that your energy matters more than your words. Are you smiling? Are you open? Are you listening with genuine interest? People are attracted to positive, curious energy. If you make a small grammar mistake, no one will care. But if you make someone feel heard and interesting, they will remember you as a great conversationalist. So, relax your shoulders, smile, and be curious. Your goal is not to be perfect, your goal is to connect. Have 1 or 2 nice, 5-minute conversations, and consider the event a success. Let's move on to our third scenario in this module, the everyday encounter. This is not a planned event like a party or an interview. This is the spontaneous, daily life interaction that can happen anywhere, in a coffee shop, at a bus stop, in a park, or at a grocery store. These situations are low stakes, and they are fantastic opportunities to practice your English in small, manageable doses. The goal here is usually not to have a long, deep conversation, but to have a brief, friendly exchange. In these micro-conversations, you often don't even need to introduce yourself by name. The focus is on the shared situation. Let's imagine you are in line at a coffee shop. You can turn to the person next to you and make a simple observation. "It's busy this morning, isn't it? I love the smell of this place." Or you could ask a small question. "I'm sorry, do you know if they have oat milk?" The other person might give a short answer, "Yes, it is," or "Me too," and that's the end of the interaction. And that is perfectly fine. It was a successful, polite exchange. However, sometimes these small openings can lead to a longer conversation. Let's take another example. Imagine you are at a park and you see someone with a friendly dog. This is one of the easiest conversation starters in the world. "Excuse me, your dog is beautiful. What kind is it?" Them, "Oh, thank you. She's a husky." "Wow. I love her eyes. She looks very friendly." Them, "She is. She loves meeting new people. I'm Mark, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Mark. Your name." Do you see what happened? The introduction with names happened after the conversation had already started. The connection was made over the dog, and the names came later. This is very common in casual, everyday encounters. You connect over a shared interest or situation first. Here is your confidence key for everyday encounters: be present and observant. Don't walk through the world looking at your phone. Look up. Notice things. Notice the weather. Notice someone's interesting jacket. Notice the book someone is reading. These observations are the seeds of countless small conversations. These small interactions are like exercise for your social muscles. The more you do them, the stronger and more confident you become. Asking for the time, complimenting someone's dog, or making a comment about the rain might seem insignificant, but they are not. They are acts of connection. They prove to you that you can speak to strangers and have a positive result. So, I have a challenge for you. The next time you go out to get a coffee or go to the store, try to have one of these micro-interactions. Just one. Say hello to the cashier and ask them how their day is going. Make a comment about the long line to the person behind you. It doesn't have to lead to anything more. The goal is simply to open your mouth and connect, for just a moment. This is how you truly start to live in a new language. That challenge is so important because it moves our practice from theory into the real world. Every time you have one of those small interactions, you are building a new identity for yourself, the identity of someone who speaks English. We have now covered the main scenarios in Module 4, the formal job interview, the casual social gathering, and the spontaneous everyday encounter. In each situation, you have the tools and the strategies to introduce yourself and start a conversation with confidence. This brings us to our fifth and final module. We have talked about what to say, how to say it, and where to say it. But none of that matters without the final piece of the puzzle. Welcome to Module 5, Mastering Your Mindset. The biggest challenge in learning a new language is not the grammar. It's not the vocabulary. It's the fear in your own mind. It's the voice in your head that says, "Don't speak. You'll make a mistake. You'll sound stupid." Our goal in this final module is to silence that voice. The first and most important principle is this: embrace imperfection. You must give yourself permission to make mistakes. So many learners wait for the perfect moment to speak. They wait until they know the perfect grammar and the perfect vocabulary. But that moment will never come. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Let me say that again, because it is the most important thing you will learn today. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be understood. If you say, "Yesterday I go to the store," instead of "Yesterday I went to the store," is it grammatically perfect? No. But did the other person understand you? Yes. That means you were successful. You communicated. Here is your new confidence key, perhaps the most important one of all: a mistake is not a failure. A mistake is proof that you are trying. Every mistake is a learning opportunity in disguise. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, or you correct yourself, you remember it far more deeply than if you just read it in a book. So, I want you to change your relationship with mistakes. Don't fear them. Don't be ashamed of them. Welcome them. Laugh at them. When you make a mistake, you can even say, "Oops, English is hard sometimes," and smile. This shows you are confident enough not to take yourself too seriously. The less you fear mistakes, the more you will speak. The more you speak, the faster you will improve. It is a beautiful cycle. The second principle of mastering your mindset is to remember the power of listening. Many learners feel a lot of pressure to always be talking. They think they have to be interesting and funny and clever. This is exhausting, and it's not true. Think about the best conversationalist you know. Is it someone who talks all the time? Or is it someone who makes you feel interesting? It's almost always the listener. When you focus on being a good listener, the pressure on you disappears. Your only job is to pay attention, to be curious, and to use the active listening skills and follow-up questions we practiced. People love to talk to good listeners. It makes them feel valued. And while you are listening, you are also learning, absorbing new words and phrases naturally. So, in your next conversation, try to listen 70% of the time and speak only 30% of the time. You will be amazed at how much easier and more enjoyable it feels. The third principle for mastering your mindset is to focus on small, consistent wins. Often, learners get discouraged because they look at the huge mountain in front of them called fluency. It seems impossibly far away. So, they give up. The secret is to stop looking at the top of the mountain. Instead, focus on taking one small step right in front of you today. What is a small win? A small win is successfully ordering your coffee in English. A small win is understanding one new phrase from a TV show. A small win is having a 2-minute conversation where you didn't panic. A small win is remembering to use an instead of a before a vowel sound. These wins are tiny, but they are everything. Each small success builds your confidence, brick by brick. It creates momentum. The more small wins you have, the more you will believe in yourself. And the more you believe in yourself, the more you will practice. Here is your next confidence key: start an English journal. At the end of each day, write down one small success you had with English. just one. It could be, I understood the lyrics to a song today. Or I asked a follow-up question in a conversation. When you feel frustrated, open your journal and read all the pages. You will have a written record of your progress, and it will be impossible to feel like you are failing. This brings us to the fourth and final principle of mindset: find your why. Learning a language is a long journey. There will be days when you are tired, frustrated, and you want to quit. In those moments, grammar rules and vocabulary lists will not be enough to keep you going. You need something deeper. You need your why. Your why is your personal, emotional reason for learning English. Maybe your reason is to get a better job. That's a good reason. But what is the why behind that? Is it to provide a better life for your family? Is it to earn the respect of your colleagues? Is it to feel proud of your professional achievements? That is your why. Maybe your reason is to travel. What is the why behind that? Is it to have the freedom to explore the world without fear? Is it to connect with people from cultures different from your own? Is it to have adventures you will remember for the rest of your life? That is your why. I want you to take a moment, right now, and think about your true why. What is the deep, emotional desire that is driving you to learn English? Once you know it, write it down. Put it on a note on your computer or your bathroom mirror. When you feel like giving up, look at that note. Your why will be the fuel that keeps your engine running when the road gets difficult. It will remind you that this is not just about learning a language. This is about transforming your life. We have come on an incredible journey together today. We started with a simple hello, and we have arrived here, at the very heart of what it means to be a confident communicator. You have the words. You have the strategies. And now, you have the mindset. You have everything you need. The only thing left to do now is to begin. The knowledge you've gained is like a key in your hand. But a key is useless until you have the courage to put it in the lock and turn it. Your journey to confident English communication doesn't end with this guide. It starts now. The real learning happens not when you are listening to me, but when you are out in the world, speaking, listening, making mistakes, and making connections. Remember the path we took. We started with the simple, powerful building blocks of your identity, your name and where you are from. We expanded into your world, talking about your work and your passions. We unlocked the art of real conversation, learning to ask questions, to listen deeply, and to end an interaction with grace. We walked through real-world scenarios, from the formal interview to the casual party. And finally, we faced the biggest challenge of all, the fear in our own minds. You now know that the goal is not perfection, but connection. You know that every mistake is a step forward. You know that your confidence will not come from a book, it will come from the action you take. So I leave you with one final challenge. Your challenge is to choose one thing, just one thing, from this guide and use it today. Maybe you will go to a shop and ask the cashier, "How is your day going?" Maybe you will finally talk to that colleague from another department and say, "Hi, I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm your name." Maybe you will simply look in the mirror, smile, and say, "Hello. My name is your name, and I am an English speaker." Whatever you choose, do it. Feel the small spark of fear, and do it anyway. Because on the other side of that fear is the confident, connected, and powerful person you are meant to be. It has been my absolute pleasure and privilege to be your guide on this journey. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your courage. I have no doubt that you have the ability to achieve every single one of your language goals. You have the tools. You have the mindset. You have your why. Now go and introduce yourself to the world. The world is waiting to meet you. Goodbye, and take care.